Today, I'm going to show you how to master line work. Because if your goal is to become a successful tattoo artist, then you need to make sure that your line work is clean, otherwise nothing is going to save you. But you don't need an apprenticeship, and you don't really need to be good at drawing to be able to achieve this. All you need to do is to follow this simple chain lock method, which will lock in your muscle memory and give you that consistency that you've been searching for. Each of these links are a set of rules used by professional tattoo artists daily to achieve amazing results. And once you understand these simple rules, you can use these on any liner with any machine and your work will improve instantly. The first link is called Make Your Bed, and I'm not telling you to clean up your room. Now, there are at least 12 different ways that you can hold a pencil, but only one way that you can hold a tattoo machine. A simple way to master this within one step is by creating a ring with your thumb and your middle finger. This will then create a bed for your machine to lie in. You then want to lower your index finger, and as you'll see, we've assumed the correct position for holding a tattoo machine, and that literally took less than 10 seconds. You want to be resting the weight of your machine on your pinky and ring knuckle, as this is a fantastic guide for depth control, but we'll go into that a bit later on in the video. But knowing how to hold a machine is really just a small step in achieving perfection. This next step is something that literally every tattoo artist in the world had to go through as a beginner. This is understanding your machine grip size and what you need to do in order to make it comfortable. If you can't get a tight grip on your machine, or if your hand's starting to ache like crazy after a long session, then using vet wrap to increase the grip size of your machine to whatever suits you best will allow you to not only produce better lines, but you'll be able to perform twice as long with no issues. But before you start a lifetime of overspending on vet wrap, if increasing the size of your tattoo machine is something that you do want to achieve, instead use kitchen roll to increase the size of your machine before applying vet wrap. Yes, vet wrap isn't expensive, but once you start to add up those little prices over the years with the amount of designs you're going to do, yeah, it does add up over time. This is coming from the guy who buys camo vet wrap because it looks cool. Now, the past two steps are really the basics in pulling straight lines, especially when it comes to this next step, because coming up, I'm going to explain exactly how to perform the 3-point stretch so that you can get that perfect stretch consistently. An easy way to understand this is by creating an L shape with your non-drawing hand, as if you were sent back into high school when the loser sign was funny and not just soul-destroying daggers that hurt and make you want to cry in the shower for hours. Use the two fingers in the L to stretch the skin apart, and then with the machine in your drawing hand, held in the position we did earlier, we can stretch the skin in the opposite direction, creating a 3-point stretch. The main thing to remember with this technique is to not stretch too hard, because you don't want to rip the skin apart with your bare hands now, do you, right? The next link is to make sure that you're entering and exiting the skin in the correct way, and there's really only one way to do this. Gradually. This is so you can marry the lines together without creating ink spots or worse, blowouts. The easiest way to learn the hand motion for this technique is by using a Sharpie on paper, because with a Sharpie it's really hard to make a straight line without creating these ink spots on the end of the line, because once you understand the pendulum motion with the Sharpie, this gives you a fundamental understanding of the type of movement that your needle should be doing when entering and exiting the skin, albeit you'll need to slow your hand down when using the machine, but that should go without saying really. But all of this is completely pointless if you can't understand depth correctly. Otherwise, you won't deposit ink correctly into the skin, or worse, blowout. If you want to maintain a depth of 1 to 1.5 millimeters, a good way to visualize this is by thinking of the width of a penny and create a mental image in your mind that your needle should never go deeper than the width of a penny. The next thing you want to do is to lock in your wrist, as all the movement should really come from your shoulder or elbow. Never ever ever use your wrist for lining, as you'll just limit your reach and you'll be stopping and starting your lines every 5 centimeters. If you're pulling lines towards you, tuck your elbow into your ribs for that extra support. If you're doing curved lines or vertical lines, then rest your elbow on your knee or any other support to help keep that line consistent. And the final trick, and a sneaky little one that I wanted to put in here, is lube up. Make sure you apply a small amount of petroleum jelly to the fake skin to prevent friction, but also apply the tiniest amount to the bottom of your drawing hand and watch that baby glide. Now, because we've talked about a lot in this video, I just want to kind of recap everything for you guys briefly. So first of all, we talked about creating a stable bed in order to hold your machine properly. The second is making sure that you've found the correct grip size so that your machine is personalized to your needs. Third is using the 3-point stretch so that you can make sure you're consistently stretching the skin and depositing the ink as accurately as it needs to be. Number 4 is to make sure that you're entering and exiting the lines clean to make sure you're not causing any ink spots and to decrease the risk of blowout. 5 is to make sure that you're keeping a consistent depth into the skin, preferably about 1mm to 1.5mm. Number 6 is to lock in your wrist and to move from your elbow or shoulder. And 7 is to lube up and reduce that friction. Master these and your line work will look professional instantly. And if you practice this every night, before you know it, you'll literally be pulling clean lines like it was nothing. So that's really it for today, guys. Yeah, if you liked the video, make sure to follow for more, as I'm going to be making more videos about the highway to hell, which is my full detailed roadmap on how to become from zero experience all the way to a self-taught tattoo artist. We're going to start off with some drawing tips to begin with, so stick around because I'll be going into that soon. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.